We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Bradford's Vikings going up against Palmer's Cardinals. So let's send you out to the Valley of the Sun as we welcome in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at University of Phoenix Stadium here in Glendale. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Arizona Cardinals. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they finally get to him, but not before he's past the 45 to the 46-yard line.
When we spent our time talking to the coaches prior to the game, they emphasized that they wanted a quick start to begin things. Most of the time you think about that on the offensive side of the ball, but in this case, it's the special teams that provide that quick start.
They come up in an offset eye. Throwing now, Palmer on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. And this offense on your screen, one of the guys who knows how to win football games, Larry Fitzgerald.
Plenty of athleticism, but plays the game with incredible intelligence.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Second and 10. It's Palmer again. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. Now it's Palmer. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald.
Well, you know something, hard work and incredible efficiency does pay off, and that's Larry Fitzgerald of Arizona. 107 catches. I thought he's supposed to be getting older and slowing down.
I was just going to say, people are wondering when Father Time's going to catch him, but he's too fast for Father Time.
Right now, he's keeping Father Time at bay, and in fact, is still continuing to flourish in the desert.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Let's go, let's go.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain.
Partner, I know we're supposed to be impartial and not root, but be honest. Weren't you excited for the opportunity for David Johnson of Arizona to have 100 yards from scrimmage in each and every game this year?
Yeah, NFL record 15 straight games at the century mark. Disappointingly, though, couldn't get that clean sweep. Just 44 yards in the Cardinals' finale after he was forced to exit with a knee injury.
But how about the way he broke out in 2016? One of the stars of the future in the NFL.
On second down, here's Palmer. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was David Johnson, and it's 3rd and 4. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Anthony Barr almost defies description at times. He's built like a defensive end, but he plays outside linebacker and does it quite well.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Now Palmer to throw. Jaron Brown, the intended target. And it's 4th and 4.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive. Fourth down. Here's Palmer. Oh, it's dropped. He couldn't hang on. That would have been a big interception. Instead, they'll have a chance to get 3. So, Charles, they wanted 7 on that opening drive. They didn't want to settle for a field goal.
Felt like a tone setter. You know, that's what they were looking for, because a lot of teams, they'll march it downfield, and when they kick the field goal, it almost feels disappointing, doesn't it? You have a nice drive. I think this team decided, guess what? No matter what, we're going for the 6, trying to put those points on the board and set them back on their heels.
But unfortunately, that mentality did not work out. They come out here in the eye. Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. The starters now on offense. And Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries. But, boy, as he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
Again, Peterson. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24.
Brandon, I know you play the fantasy football game, and Adrian Peterson has to be a popular pick for owners. But this year, a tough season for him. A knee injury early limited him to 72 yards total for the season.
Yeah, early indeed. Week 2 on that knee injury. So 72 yards, as you said, for the year. Came back admirable, hoping to get him into the playoffs, but didn't look like he was ready to return.
One guy I never count out, though, is Adrian Peterson. I expect a monster return in 2017.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. And the play clock's running down. On 1st and 10, Bradford. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Dayon Buchanan. In there to bring him down for a loss of 7. A play fake to Peterson. Now Bridgewater. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. A big play there for Minnesota. 45 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. A second down throw for Bridgewater. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, You light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Let's go.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll run with Peterson. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Second down, Bridgewater. And that'll be incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's third down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon, and he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll throw on first down here with Palmer. Palmer's hit, fumble. He loses the football. The big fella. And the Vikings, and they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. Kai Forbath on for the extra point. No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. screenplay. Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Cardinals a first down.
They completed the screen, but one of the things you worry about is can the quarterback get rid of the ball before he's actually tackled. So your offensive linemen have to hold up the rushers a little bit because you want to make sure you keep your guy's jersey clean throughout the game.
They go play action here on first down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams, and Arizona. Those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. The Raiders and New England.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And just think about the ones in London. Remember, they're splitting them between the 2 different stadiums in London, so they get a different flavor in all these places. But Mexico, for the 2nd straight year, the Raiders are coming to town. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Should be a ton of fun and a very good matchup. Let's see what the defense dials up here. 3rd and 4. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Again, it's Palmer. And this is going to be incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and it's 4th down.
And I think the end result, knocking the ball away, was a product of where they were on the field, understanding how many yards they needed to pick up the first down, and tightening their coverage accordingly. Gave them no gaps, no spaces, no real air in which to catch the football, and end up making a really nice play.
Well, here we go on 4th down. Palmer. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 17 yards on the pickup. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go.
Throwing now, Palmer on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch. Especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
That one was intended for John Brown, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
2nd and 10. It's Palmer again. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And I guess, Charles, sometimes when you have a receiver well over 6 foot, you do that. Just put it up there, let him grab it, and he did.
And it certainly appears like a 50-50 ball, right? We always talk about that when both sides have a chance to get it, the receiver or the guy covering him. But I think the odds actually are in favor of the offense. They can see the ball coming oftentimes before the defender can get his head around. So I think that really goes to like 70-30, and they should be able to go up and get it most of the time.
And he got it there. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson taking it in. And the Cardinals are an extra point away from grabbing the lead. Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. And he'll bang that one through. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line. You know, for this Vikings team, as they come back out here on offense, I don't know that any group had more of a roller coaster ride than them in the 2016 season. The quarterback change at the beginning, the hot start, and then the cold middle. It was just a tough year for them, wasn't it?
It really was, and when you look at how their season went, you mentioned the roller coaster. A lot of it can come back to the injuries, especially along the offensive line. I think by around October, maybe even early November, I'm surprised you and I didn't get a call to go audition to be a left tackle there because they were just down so many guys. So that made it difficult to run the ball and to protect Sam Bradford, their quarterback, and it reflected in their final record. But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. More from the desert after this. First down, here's a run with Peterson. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And, you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
Now Palmer down around his goal line. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Terrence Newman with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better. There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Kevin Minter. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down.
Here we go.
Now Palmer to throw on second down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Palmer now to throw on 3rd down. And he's got Fitzgerald. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Shift together here from the D-line.
Let's go, let's go.
On 1st and 10, it's Palmer. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline that's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have 2 with the move from San Diego to L.A. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less culture shock.
Less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium, essentially, for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things. Obviously, trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played 1 season as such.
And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Let's go, let's go.
On 1st down, it's Palmer. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. And they're going to speed things up here. Now Palmer on 1st down. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And Catanzero's kick is right through. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Here comes Sherrills. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. Okay, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the areas, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Peterson alone in the backfield, and he'll get it up the middle. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on 1st down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here in this situation. They stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded. And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
A 10th carry now for Peterson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They run again with Peterson. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, Kevin Minter. A well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Trying to lay one up deep. This is caught inside the 15. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Bridgewater on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
10 yards still left on 2nd down. A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. And his throw here is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And now it's 3rd down. Well, pretty good coverage there in both of these defenses. They've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. We talk about setting a tone or beginning a drive. That run was absolutely textbook. I'm telling you, partner, now they're not just thinking about an easy drive. They're thinking about maybe taking it downfield.
Yeah, started at their 2. Now they've got a heavy amount of breathing room. Now Palmer, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Let's go, let's go. Blue 58. Blue 58.
3rd and 2. Now Palmer. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
Get ready.
Well, here we go on 4th down. Palmer is going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism, because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. Bridgewater will try and throw. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. Yeah, they turn the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized with a little bit on top.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Now Palmer looking left sideline, incomplete. That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota, remember the start they got off to before that didn't work out so well for them. Arizona, we thought they were a lock to be in the playoffs. In fact, many of us called them Super Bowl contenders. And Carolina, the defending NFC champs going into last season, they didn't make it. So I think that all 3 could return to former glory. I'm going to give you one way off the pace here. You ready?
Let's go.
The Los Angeles Rams.
Ooh.
They get the young quarterback going, and that defense continues to live up to expectations. They can make a real strong push in the West.
They've got the D. You're right. They just need the O. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Got to love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the fourth and final quarter. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Get ready.
On second down, here's Palmer. And his throw is incomplete.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
Here we go. Blue 95.
Now Palmer on third and long. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They start the drive with Peterson. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Bridgewater. And that is incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. Bridgewater off the play fake to McKinnon. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Let's go, let's go. 1-18.
So after the interception, here's Palmer. And Gresham has it left side. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
All right, now. Blue 95.
From midfield now, here's Palmer. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Get ready. Blue 58.
On 1st and 10, it's Palmer. He's going to launch this thing way down. And got his man complete. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. John Brown, 43 yards. And the Cardinals have taken the lead here in the 4th. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Let's go.
Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's go.
A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. They'll try to set up the screen. It's complete. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage. Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. Here's Bridgewater. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12.
Get ready.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 2nd down, here's Palmer. And this is caught on the left side, Jerron Brown. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Cardinals. Jerron Brown, 70 yards. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Bridgewater to throw. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now Bridgewater.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. Bridgewater. The left side caught by Diggs. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. Those guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They're in a good spot. Two-possession game barely, but a two-possession game here late. Now they just have to put this game on ice.
Let's face it, right now, they're talking about ball security, taking care of it, not allowing anything crazy to happen, because we've seen nutty things happen down the stretch, but they also have the security of the scoreboard. With that type of a lead, even if something goes haywire, they're still in good shape.
Now Bridgewater surveying the field, and Rudolph has it left side. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Here's Bridgewater. That's caught at the 2. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They got to have 6 here. It's full. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll run for it with Peterson. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll run for it. Peterson. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adrian Peterson punching it in from a yard away. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. So with a 2nd to play, they essentially need a recovery and a run back. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cardinals as we say so long from Glendale.